The man showed both surprise and innocence on his face. Then he said, "No, I'm not following you. Yesterday you dropped your hairpin. I just wanted to give it back to you." Hotaru froze, so that person just wanted to return the hairpin to her. But she thought he was a pervert. She said with an embarrassed expression, "So, I'm sorry for thinking you were following me. Thank you." She took the hairpin back from his hand. Suddenly he said, "I'm Nakagawa Hitomi, head of the planning department." He held out his hand as if he wanted to shake hands. She actually didn't want to shake hands with this person. Even if he had good intentions and wanted to return the hairpin to her, he would give it to her normally. Why does he have to follow her like this? But he's the head of the planning department, so not shaking hands would be a bit rude. Even if she doesn't want to, she still has to shake hands. "I'm Takegawa Hotaru, employee of the design department," Hotaru said. Then, Hotaru left and went back to work. She had completed many designs, but this design was very strange. It was very different from the designs she had done before. Suddenly, there was a voice behind her. "You add this line and it's done." She turned around and saw that it was the person who had returned the hairpin to her, Nakagawa Hitomi. At this time, a few whispers rang out. "There's head of department Nakagawa. Why did he come to Hotaru's workplace?" She didn't know what to do at that time, just told him to go back to work. After a while, she turned to Nawaki and asked, "Hey Nawaki, you wouldn't think that he and I love each other, right?" Nawaki, glued to the computer screen, replied, "I have some doubts, but if you two really love each other, you should break up." That's the head of the planning department, Nakagawa Hitomi. Even though he's only 24 years old, he's a trap boy. I can't even count how many relationships he's had. I can't even understand why the girls at our company like this scoundrel. It's crazy. After hearing what Nawaki said, she was quite suspicious. She asked Nawaki, "How do you know this?" Nawaki didn't hide anything anymore. She looked straight into Hotaru's eyes and said, "I used to love him when I was in high school. He was also the department head at that time." Think about it. Why would a department manager love a high school student? At that time, I also thought the same thing, but I thought he really loved me. We had a wonderful time together. I wanted to work in the same place as him to make it easier to date. I tried very hard to work here. When I received the acceptance notice, I was very happy and took the bus to where he lived to surprise him. But I was the one who received the surprise. I saw him at that time. Suddenly tears welled up in Nawaki's eyes. Then she continued. He was holding hands with a girl. He even kissed her. At this moment, Nawaki's eyes truly became bullet-shaped. Hotaru immediately said, patting Nawaki, "Nawaki, don't be so angry. Calm down." Nawaki adjusted her emotions and continued. "After seeing that scene, I tried to hold back my tears and went to the bus station and booked the nearest bus back to the city. I cried a lot on the way home. The next day, I called and talked to him directly. He didn't hide anything from himself and said, 'I have many girlfriends. If you leave me, I will still have someone else. In general, you're just a deer being led by the nose. You are really stupid.' I have cut off contact with him since then. At that time, I wanted to withdraw my application, but thinking back, because of a scoundrel, I had to give up this job. It was really a waste. So I will try to work here. Every time I see that guy, I just want to say it out loud to let everyone know that he's just a bastard, a trap boy. The way he treats his lover really makes others angry." After listening to Nawaki tell her story, she decided that she would never love the guy that everyone called department head Nakagawa. Definitely never. After returning home, he offered to take her home, but she refused. His face looked unhappy. He asked Hotaru, "Why don't you want me to take you home?" Hotaru replied coldly, "Don't want means don't want. Don't you understand what I mean?" He said, "But I want to take you home. I want to apologize for making you misunderstand that I was following you this morning." She really felt so annoyed. She replied, "No need, I misunderstood. You don't need to take me home." She replied, a fake smile on her lips, "But," he said quickly. "No," she said harshly. He silent and said nothing more.